I want to give all praise to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Double honor to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that labor night and day, making sure we get this 100% truth. Salutations and blessings to all the brethren that's out there on the edges and highways, doing videos, doing anything they can to get this word out by any means. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the 144,000, the 1/3. Shalom to the Aqua who are listening in silence, who are following the rules of the great brothers at Great Millstone. And shalom and blessings and safety to all GMS, all the brothers who are doing this in sincerity and truth. Shalom. And to all the agents that are listening, I hope that you turn around. Shalom. So, I'm going to get right into it. I know probably say, why you saying stuff to the agents? Because, man, it's agents everywhere. I see them. I see them when I go to the grocery store. I see them at camp. I've been seeing them way before I even got with Great Millstone. I've been seeing them. So they are out there. They are very real. And they have people, believe it or not, that are on the payroll to take your very life. And don't think that that's something that's made up, because they are there. Trust and believe me. They're there. All right. Here's a video right here that I want to bring out.
We're going to start to see a big drop in imports, and it's because of the president's tariffs. NBC4's Brittany Hope live in San Pedro this morning with a look at how this will ultimately impact you at home, especially when we're out shopping. Right, Brittany? Good morning.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So it's kind of a supply and demand thing, right? If there's less supply, less product coming into the ports because companies aren't buying as many goods from China, there's less goods, and that makes prices going up. Now, there's another perspective for that as well. There are thousands of truck drivers who live and work in our region, and we have Helen here, who is one of the port truck drivers. Helen, thank you for being with us. She's been here with us for a few hours now. You might have seen her at
Germans have figured out a way to...
You might have seen her at 5:30. I want to talk to you a little bit about your job and your fear this week, especially as those tariffs are really starting to hit at the port.
Yeah, so definitely the fact that no more ships are going to come in with loads, and also those ships are not taking out any loads, that means that there will be no work for us to do, and that will definitely affect us economically.
What have the conversations been like with you? Her husband's also a truck driver, but at work are we still going to have jobs? I mean, what is that like?
So definitely brings an uncertainty for everybody because we don't know what's going to happen. Definitely a lot of people are going to start losing their jobs, are going to start getting laid off. In the case for myself and my husband, there won't be any income coming in if we both get laid off. If he doesn't have work, if I don't have work, if I have another brother who's also a port truck driver, if his work goes down, so he's going to lose a job, and he has a family too. So many of us are very worried that we're going to lose a job, and then we're going to be unemployed.
And this week, about a third of all the ships this month, they're expecting them to just be totally canceled. If there's less ships, that means there's less load. You get paid less? Is that how it works?
So if you get paid by the load, then definitely there's no work for you. You know, if you get paid by the hour, then you're not going to get called in to come into work at all because there's nothing for you to do. So definitely there is going to be a loss of wages, which then entails that we're not going to be able to support our families, pay our bills. We're not going to be able to go to a store and feed our families, buy the food. That also affects customers because since we're not bringing in loads from these boats, they're not coming into the port. We're going to see less items in shelves, and we are going to see, if not the same thing was happening in COVID, if not worse.
Well, the work that you do, Helen, and your husband is so important. So thank you, and thank you for sharing your perspective and just being open about the real impacts. But again, this week here at the Port of LA, also the neighboring Twin Port of Long Beach, those shipments from China are really expected to be slashed. Back to you guys.
So good to have Helen's perspective. Thank you for that.
report, some industries are starting to feel the belt tightening because of President Trump's tariffs, with hard-hit truckers taking another blow. Layoffs are beginning in the trucking industry as American ports are seeing a big drop in cargo ship arrivals, meaning less to haul across our country. NewsNation's Nancy Liu is live for us in Southern California, speaking to those affected. So, Nancy, what are they telling you?
Well, Nicole, we're hearing words like bad and dire and even crisis. We're standing next to a bunch of truck chassis because they're parked and they're not in use. And look on the other side there. They're stacked up, and in this truck yard alone, there are about 100 chassis stacked up because they don't need them. They're typically out on the roadways. Like everyone else along America's massive supply chain, truckers expect things to go from bad to worse.
This yard costs us money, this equipment costs us money, our chassis costs us money, our employees cost us money, electricity costs us money, right? So after 6 months, I would say we would be in pretty dire situations. And that's just us. And there's hundreds of companies like us who would probably be in this, most likely be in the same situation, if not worse.
For Height Logistics here in Long Beach, the situation is compounded by a very expensive company shift to a clean fleet. Over 20 big rig EVs with price tags of about $500,000 each. Due to far less freight to haul, the company started layoffs this week and cut all trucker shifts by half. There's word of similar tightening at other trucking companies and even some going out of business. The dire times triggered by the nosedive in freight traffic, specifically imports from China, nearly half of which are typically handled by the ports here in Southern California. Now, the outlook is grim for the rest of the year, with a drop of 20% in imports overall. But look at this, a monstrous dive of up to 80% of goods from China. Long before the trade war, California had moved to end the sale of gas-powered big rigs after 2035. But now the Trump administration is pumping the brakes on that as it pushes for more American manufacturing.
The industry that's been moving towards a zero-emission fleet at great expense, and now to have this dramatic drop in volumes here, it couldn't have come at a worse time, as we're carrying more debt load as an industry than we ever have before.
Even so, operators here are expressing faith and optimism about trade deals being reached soon, and that there will be benefit from the long-term effects of tariffs, but they are working to diversify operations in order to survive. Nicole?
Yeah, Nancy, I mean, we know obviously everything is connected here. So not just truckers, your consumers can also expect to feel the impact soon as well.
All consumers means, less. We're seeing even fast food restaurants reporting less traffic in the McDonald's, Chipotle, less traffic, and we're seeing even fast food restaurants reporting less traffic in those McDonald's, Chipotle, less traffic, and the trickle-down effect for all consumers means, less stuff on the shelves. So that means less selection, higher prices, and the impact is expected to be seen in about 60 to 90 days. Nicole?
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.
They said, the shelves are going to be open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, and maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. Somebody said, the shelves are going to be open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, and maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. Somebody said, the shelves are going to be open.
Well, the cost of groceries is still rising as more communities reportedly struggle with food insecurity.
A new poll shows more than half of Americans think grocery prices are a major source of stress.
Jolene Kent examines which factors continue to drive up prices.
a trip to the grocery store is stinging a little more at the checkout.
$16.99 for one pack of pecans. It's insane.
Yeah, it's bad. I can't believe how much some of this stuff costs, actually. Overall, grocery prices have continued their upward march, rising nearly 3% compared to last year. Food prices went up by 0.5% from July to August. That's the fastest monthly increase since fall of 2022. It was driven in part by commonly imported groceries.
Tariffs have a huge impact on grocery prices.
Food industry analyst Phil Lempert is known as the supermarket guru. Why are we seeing these increases?
Number one is climate change. We can't grow our food where we used to grow it. Now it's had to move to Central and Latin America. Number two is a labor shortage. And then third is our tariffs.
Among the biggest price jumps, coffee up more than 20%.
Of Hispanic Heritage Month, and one local grocery store chain is bringing a slice of home for Mexican Americans year round. They're celebrating flavors of home beyond just Hispanic Heritage Month. 13 on your side, Erin Sullivan joins us now with more on this story. Good morning, Erin.
Hey, Sam, good morning. Yeah, this local business is growing very quickly, and they're bringing something unique to the Wyoming area, something that can't be found at traditional grocery stores here in West Michigan. Now, I did receive a tour of their location on Division and got to see their expansive selection of traditional Hispanic staples.
What is considered home for a lot of people. This is necessary. This is something that you don't find in a lot of areas. So one thing that's interesting is we represent what's called independent grocery, where.
And when it comes to the food, there's such a variety to choose from. They have an expansive produce selection with the mini fruit and a variety of meats to choose from, and plenty of hot lunches. Inflation for food prices over the past month, that's steady, but over the past year, that number is 2.9%. Recent polling shows that Americans are worried about the cost of food. In fact, 53% say grocery prices are a major stress. Joining us now is Stu Leonard Jr. from Stu Leonard's Grocery Stores. Hi, Stu. Quite the backdrop you have for us. All right, I know you have some props as well.
In Arkansas gathered at a town hall last week to ask Congress for help. Mounting debt, aging equipment, and disappearing profits are making it nearly impossible for them to break even, let alone to turn a profit. One of those farmers calls the president's tariffs, quote, the ice cream on top of a cake of a perfect storm. He joins us now, Arkansas farmer Scott Brown, who attended last week's town hall. Scott, really good to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me about what's happening with your farm.
Well, we've got a real disaster with this tariff deal. I mean, we produce 40% more agricultural products in this country than we can consume domestically. 1 in every 4 rows of soybeans in every field in the entire United States of America has to go abroad. China is the largest importer of soybeans in the world. They import 61% of the world's market. Last year, we sent around 12 billion, I think $14 billion worth of soybeans the year before. For the first time in 20 years, China's bought 0 soybeans and 0 new crop corn out of this country.
0?
So we went from 12 billion to 0.
Where are they buying the soybeans?
Brazil. You see, we lost 42% of our market share in the first tariff war. In Trump's first tariff war, the Chinese went to buying their soybeans from Brazil. They invested billions of dollars in Brazilian infrastructure. They have moved into Africa, and they're going to commercially farm in Africa. Since we left with USAID, they moved their Belt and Road program into Africa. So we've pretty much lost the Chinese market share. If we got 100% of the soybean business, Katie, for every country in the world except for Brazil and Argentina, we would still only have half the soybean business that China is.
Are you getting 100% of everything else?
See, they even want to starve out China. This place wants to starve out everybody. Not just the citizens over here in America, but the people over there in these other countries. See, I'm going to keep it real, but I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to talk intelligent. I'm not going to be ignorant. But I'm going to tell her how it is, because it needs to be told that way. All right. Let me come off and read the scripture first. And then, really, this is really going to be my only scripture. So I'm going to do more talking to try to explain stuff. Because, hey, I don't know who's going to see this video, but I hope that this video is edifying to the Akia and to anyone that watches it. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 15. And I might go into 16. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch, rush may do. Verse 16. And the day shall Egypt be unto a woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. That's right, of the Father Yahweh through his Son and the Holy Spirit of hosts, which he shaketh over it. Alright? Because, as you know, the Israelites are already out of Egypt. So it's not talking about that same Egypt. It's talking about the same place that is bondage. And that is the America KKK. It's talking about that. This place right here, where most of us are at bondage at. It's talking about that place. This place where we're at. That's what it's talking about. That's what it's talking about. This place right here, America. And see, the thing is, people going to think this is going to keep going. They're already setting aside to make these truckers that don't want to do trucking no more, and the ports are slowing up now, to be all controlled by AI. Even though Trump doesn't like Elon Musk, these trucks are going to go into artificial intelligence driving. You got to look what's going on. I mean, these truckers got to take naps. They got to have their truck inspected. Imagine this. You got an 18-wheeler. Because I wanted to get into it. It rides into a truck stop. It has a machine now, comes over, check every tire. It don't have to check the gas to see because if you know about trucking, you know about trucking. Because see, the thing is with diesel, you can use it for everything. You can use diesel for everything. That's why they want to know if you use a farm diesel in your 18-wheeler. That's why it's pink. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, it's all about the taxes and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So, you don't have to worry about that. Because the truck is just driving. It don't have to stop. As long as that truck has energy, it's going to keep going. And if it has to pull to a truck stop, who cares? To charge up, a robot could walk by, grab the little charge machine, the wire, stick it in the truck, let it charge. Once it's done, unplug it, put it back, truck keeps going. Yeah, trucking company gone, man. It is gone. And it's going to keep being gone. And what you going to do about it? That this trucking company is gone. This trucking company is going to just keep being gone, man. And the food stores are slowing up. Stuff is slowing up at the ports. It's going to be nothing that you can do. This stuff is never going to stop. We are in Jacob's trouble. More than what you know. We got the ice. And as we got the ice going on, we also got food shortages. People losing their jobs. See, this is what people need to start thinking about. And even in the brotherhood. How's it going to be when these people are going to start getting hungry? We're going to be put to the test. These people are going to start coming to people's homes. Come on now. If you are one of the hopeful elect, doesn't the scripture say? Doesn't the scripture say, my people will eat? So if we eating and we're being watched, you don't think those people gonna want to try to come in our house? Especially say you a single brother. You gotta come home. Now, as a single brother, and let's say your house been ransacked. Now all the brothers at the camp now gotta send all the money that we've been donating to your house. Because your food got stolen. Yeah, this is gonna be real test. It's gonna be like that. We are being watched so much, man. When I see these agents out here watching me, man, I just be like, man, I got my garb on now. And I just be like, man, they see us out there. They taking pictures and all that. They are ready to break into people's houses. And you already see Eve, how she going. She ready to crash out. Be prepared for when I come in Walmart. I'm gonna take my food and I'm gonna walk out the door. Like we supposed to walk on eggshells for you. Go ahead, steal the food, get locked up, so you can go ahead and get 3 meals in a cot. And while you're doing that, your child's gonna go on protective services, and then they're gonna be touched by those real pedophiles that work there. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Now look at us. We are the hopeful elect. They gonna see us eating. How come that dude still got his job? Because Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Yeah, we being washed over. So now the real test gonna come with us. We gonna be eating. Until that famine of the word come, where we cannot go out on the hedges and highways no more. And I don't know how that's gonna be. It might come from up top. They might say, all brothers don't go out on the highways and hedges no more. It might be just like that. From the brothers that's up top. The elders, bishops. They might say, don't go out no more. It could be like that. Or it could be like, keep going until the government say, don't go out no more. It could be that. It could be to that. I mean, this stuff is gonna get crazy, man. I already seen people that come up to the camp that be asking for money. Hey, y'all got $1? Y'all got some money? Come up to the camp, and I'll be looking at it, and I already know it. You know, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut on that. I'm not gonna say nothing. But people come up to the camp and they ask for money. We give it to them if we have it, but we give it to them because you never know. You never know. That could be someone that's really going through it. And it's our job as prophets to do what we can. And that's what we try to do. We try to do our very, very best. And it's just crazy out here to see how this stuff is. Once these ports start slowing up, and they already, those videos show, those were 5 months ago. I've been looking at videos recently about truck drivers talking about it's slowing up and they tired of doing this work. We just had recently that Indian dude who crashed the tractor trailer, all because of him. Now they watching. They watching all these tractor trailers. They're not playing out here. You're not just going to sit up here and think you're going to drive a big rig like that and you're going to just start crashing and making illegal turns like that. Nah, killing people. Nah. All this is about this is the perfect, you say, man, this ain't no perfect storm. This is the perfect soup. And when you're making a good soup It has everything in it. When you're making a good soup, you like, oh man, you put that in there. Oh, I could taste the beef. Oh man, the potatoes in there. Oh man, it tastes good. Oh man, the bell peppers in there. Oh man, oh yeah, oh man, it tastes good. Oh, the onions, the carrots. Oh yeah, this is the perfect soup. Forget the perfect storm. This is the perfect soup. Because now everybody got to eat what's going to go down the pike. Everybody's going to be pushed to the limit. But the thing is, when they see that we are doing all right, they're going to start looking at us in two ways. They're going to look at us in fear. Be like, hey, don't mess with that dude. That's one of those dudes that be going out there on the highways and hedges. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the downfall of America. Yeah, I really think he is a prophet. But I ain't get a chance to get down with him, so yeah, don't mess with him. You know, he got some hidden angels that's over there watching him. Leave him alone, man. We should have did what we should have did, and we didn't do it. We got to fend for ourselves. Yeah, you're going to have those. And then you're going to have those like, nah, man. Them dudes eating good. I ain't see them lose weight in a while. So yeah, let's go up to their house. Hold them hostage. Get their money, get their food. See, because what the people of the elite's gonna do, they gonna eat regardless. I mean, look, they got farms underground. They got slaves underground. Let that be known. They got machines underground. They still, if they want a fresh apple, fresh watermelon, they got it underground growing. Believe that. They don't have to worry about that. Whatever they want to eat, they got that. If they feel like going to the beach and the beach outside is dirty, they got that underground. They ain't got to worry about that. Balls, man, I done watched all them videos. How some of these places got beaches underneath the earth's dirt. That these people can live good. That's why we got to come back and take all this stuff from them and enslave them. And when those nuclear bombs hit on America, listen, it ain't going to affect them. It's not going to affect them. Look how it was if you really down into looking up stuff. If you down into this, you say you down into this. Look at what happened with not Osama bin Laden, but the dude that was from Baghdad. They said he had his bunkers built by British people. And they're allies with the people in the United States. They said when they dropped those bombs over there, when they said they had the mass destruction, when they dropped those bombs and they went down there with the cameras to look in the kitchen, they said the dishes in the kitchen did not even break or fall on the floor. It was as if nothing happened. That's how deep they were in Baghdad. Underground and protected. But they exposed where they got the technology from. It was from a person that was in British in some other place, I think Denmark or something like that, that they designed those underground bunkers. And they was using people from Iraq to go down there and machines to dig. And that place was so big. Just like the United States. It was just like the United States once. That's how good it was. And they said, listen, we can't show you the rest of this footage because it's classified. But they did state that when they dropped those bombs, the same bombs that they just recently dropped over there in who Israel's going against, that the dishes in the kitchen, as I'm stating again, didn't even break. Didn't even fall on the ground. And they had, if you got hit with nuclear fallout, they had a wash station down there, everything. But the thing was, the people did not make it down there in time. And the door that they had, yo, you could not even get to the door because the door was so thick. The same thing the United States got. They got the same thing. United States is not worried about being bombed, man. They're not. Because they only worry about their government officials so they can keep going on, so they can pull their Bama stuff out. They're not worried. I mean, the United States is thinking like this. If they destroy this country so we can't make our money legally, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make these underground bunkers. And as we making these underground bunkers, we just going to try to destroy everybody. They going to bam out. But see, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi going to find out about them bunkers and they going to stop them. That's what's going to happen. They going to get stopped. And then that's when we're going to rush in there and get them. Because what the United States want to do, yeah, they're like, yo, we just going to let people bomb us, let people blow us up. We act like we don't exist no more. And then we're going to come back with our technology that we got. And then we just going to bomb the whole daggone world. But before they going to come down, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi going to come up in there and snatch them up out of there. Because those that were officials of men are now going to be the hunters. So with that being said, man, shalom to the hopeful elect.